Hello, welcome to the Context Needed podcast. My name is Kyle, joined with the slouchy much trash man, Genshin money spender Ryan. He's already spent £100.
Fuck you! Don't call me out like this. We've only just started this and you're fucking calling me out.
And the eBay boy, super rare gacha, shooty boy, Ollie.
It's not eBay, it's Amazon actually. And I'll just have you know that my special delivery in preparation for next week's podcast is coming tomorrow.
Ooh.
We've not said this on the podcast yet.
We haven't actually said anything about it yet. So next week we're doing a
super special.
Yeah, Halloween special. We've all finally decided costumes. I'm testing mine tomorrow because I need to actually
Finally? Not decided ages
Well,
ago.
no, you knew what you was going to do anyway because you're a fucking trash man anyway, so...
True. I'll get dressed up for any reason.
Exactly, you was a Comic-Con boy.
None of us know what the other people are going to be having, and I think there's going to be a lot of variety.
I think Kyle might have nearly seen what I got because I was showing it on Amazon.
Yeah, you went onto Amazon and I saw something, but it was one of those things where I only saw such little of it, where it's like, that could have been a lot of different things. So I've got an inkling, but I'm not 100% sure. I know you guys don't have any idea, and obviously I don't know any idea about Ollie's.
Absolutely. Well, none of you have any idea because I literally only found it last night. So,
and what it actually is it's a replica of that CRX build we saw.
That's it. It will be Transformer, and then I unfold into Ayrton Senna.
No, you unfold into Ayrton Senna, just fucking rolling in his grave.
Yeah, it's Ayrton Senna as he would look at this moment.
Yeah, very upset.
Do you know what? I can't wait till I'm like, I can wait till I die, but I can't
wait till I die.
I do want to know if I'm gonna be a ghost, because I'll just be like, I'm about to haunt you, bitch.
I'd just be like, I wouldn't even be like an aggressive ghost. I'd just be an absolute asshole. It's just like, oh look, you've just put that cup there,
like a cat. When they're all sat there trying to find out what your name is, and then I'd just be like, but whenever they say like really generic names like in Phasmophobia, I just react to them all. Just be like,
yeah,
like, so what's your name? And I'm like, yeah.
I would just give the most difficult, conflicting answers on a Ouija board, or the other thing I would do is I would just turn everybody against each other by constantly hiding the TV remote.
I see.
And just moving things. Where'd you put this? Oh, put them in there. Oh, I can't find my keys. And I'm just going to not really far away. I'm going to put them like in one drawer over where they should be, so they just think that someone's being a bit clumsy.
That would infuriate me so much because
exactly
we have the thing in our house where it's like car keys always go on like the side in the kitchen kind of thing, because that way then if I need to take Becky's car because hers is first at the back of the drive.
You're just walking through, aren't you? Just grab it.
Yeah, grab it, out I'll go and move it. And every now and then it'll be like, where are the car keys? Why aren't they on the side? Oh, I left them in my bag. Or like I left them in my hoodie by accident. And it's just like, if a ghost came and just kept on messing with that, the fucking arguments that would happen.
We're looking at a divorce here. we got a divorce
it'll be the credits of Phasmophobia wouldn't be the talk of like, oh, they found all these ghosts. It would be massive divorce happening in Toten currently. A big argument. The police have been called to site because a monkey looks like he's about to escape.
It'd be there's this. I saw a meme. It was about, I can't wait till I'm a ghost because I'm just gonna be there on Ouija boards like I'm Festus fuckboy, or look at all those chickens.
it wouldn't be a Ouija board. It'd be a meme-ja board.
Meme-ja board.
I'd be there like, welcome to the meme-ja board. They'd be like, where are you? And I'd be like, hello there.
I'd like to just do the one where it's just it's the little girl asleep and it's just psst. What? And just do that.
Yeah. Is anybody there? General Kenobi.
When he gets the water poured on the face, just be like, hello?
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 I fucking love that video so much.
Someone jumps at like the lights going out, and then the ghost just comes out. So no head.
Oh no, it's a Mimi Geist.
It would be easy to figure out which one it is.
Things are being thrown across
the Nyan Cat on the wall.
Things are being thrown across the room, but as they do, you just hear yeet.
The thing is, we just go. What we'd need to do, right, is instead of going in with a Ouija board, we'd go in with Kyle's soundboard. Like, you just put it in the middle of the room, and you're just like, what do you have to say to us? And like, you ask them a question, and they have to answer memes.
It would just be.
Do you have anything to say to us?
All of a sudden, one of the presses, Colonel.
And then you just get,
Master Chief, do you mind? Tell me what you're doing on that ship.
they're putting chemicals in the water, and they're turning the goddamn frogs gay.
Tom's just on the was it Keemstar? I'm dead as fuck, boy.
Oh god.
How I would meme as a ghost.
Yeah, we need to jump back on Phasmophobia because I'm sure
We do.
because of the way my audio's hooked up, I could just play the ghost memes because of the way my audio pass through works.
I hope so. We need to stream it at some point. That'd be
Because
funny.
because obviously I couldn't. So going on to kind of the subject of this week's podcast, we talk about like illness and stuff. I had one where I literally couldn't speak pretty much from like Sunday to about Wednesday, just because my throat just completely died. I ended up getting a text to speech thing on my tablet. First thing I do when I come in is just make it say fucking memes. I made it start saying like fuck. Yeah, that was the first thing I made it say when I just came in and just made it say lemma smash.
Pretty sure it's let me smash. That was just there like. The thing is, there was like a 30-second pause, maybe a bit less of just silence, and then it just goes, "Let me smash," and I'm like.
It's
He
like,
comes in on like a wheelchair, like Stephen Hawking as well.
sorry,
Stephen Hawking rocks. Stephen Hawking's just like, hello, welcome to my TED talk. Let me smash.
Let me smash.
Like,
Becky.
Becky.
what was that? I kept on making it say after that. It was like fuck bitches get waifus, but I had to spell waifus WYFOOS. Otherwise, it would say,
say it right. Yeah.
It would say wiffies if
Why
I didn't.
hippos? Yeah. Why fuss?
Talking as we were just mentioning about Phasmophobia, I'm now level 12, so I've got
I'm
all the
only
items.
like level
I've got
5.
loads of spicy toys we can use.
Yeah,
And
Well, I need to catch up.
I've barely played apart from when we played.
Because
I've only played.
You need to move on to the beta as well.
Oh, is there more stuff on the beta?
No, not really. It was just they've put a few fixes on for that voice, the internal game voice, because me and my mates all
sweet.
got it working.
Oh, for like.
That'd be helpful, yeah.
Oh, in terms of so it picks up your voice better, or so you don't have
We can
to
all
hear each other
talk to
talking.
in the game.
That's
So we
all right.
all
Now I was
work-
gonna
We
say,
should all work in the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be good.
That was good. It's definitely worth getting back on. I mean,
Yeah, I want to play it.
I've now
I do
got
wanna
like
play it.
intermediate level missions, like in all the normal houses and stuff, so you can get really good XP from those.
Yeah.
I think that was the problem because
Go on. Ollie.
go. I was just gonna say the only problem with the earlier ones is sometimes they take a bit too long for something to happen.
It's tedious.
And a lot of the time we were getting that one we definitely got like the three things which narrowed it down to the one ghost,
Yeah, but then it said it wasn't it.
and it was some totally different thing. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
but
I streamed it yesterday and the day before, and honest to God, yesterday I need to like get the highlight out, but I fucking screamed like a little girl, like properly
I
like
need
a
it.
little girl. Like it
I
jumped out, and I'm like,
I not
"Woo!"
only need to see this, I need to add it to my soundboard.
I was gonna say you need to clip it.
I've downloaded the streams. You can see the streams on my Twitch, Corrupt Aesthetic.
You nearly forgot your own fucking Twitch channel, then, didn't you?
Hey, thing is though, like my views on that are like mad. Like compared to like normally, I'd get like 1 or 2 views. I've got like 24 views on one of like the stream like previews already.
It's because it's like kind of it's basically flavor of the month, isn't it? A lot of people have been playing it. It's kind of like that and Among Us are kind of full on flavor of the month at the moment. So I do want to get us all. I want to look at maybe on Wednesday getting us all to jump into Among Us.
Yeah, they've got to do it in private games though, because apparently they've got a problem with hacking at the moment on the main servers.
I would only do it in private games anyway. I'd only do it in private games anyway. Just like we'll get like us free. We can get Graves involved. There's probably a few people from your side we could get involved as well.
I could probably get like the top you have in the game's 10. So actually, with us lot and maybe Graves, I think that'd actually take us up to like a full 10 if we can get most of the guys on my at my friend like my other friend group in there.
I think that would be hilarious because you instantly can tell when someone's a bad liar. And there'll be a lot of treachery.
Yeah, it's a good game. And if we can get like us all on voice as well, it'll be a bit easier than type chatting, because when you have to type chat and you've
we'd all do voice. We'd all just do voice, and we'd just follow the rules of keeping yourself muted while you're playing the round.
Yeah.
Because I was watching a Soviet Womble video where one of them forgot to mute himself while he was the imposter, and he was silent. And then all of a sudden, when he gets a kill, he's like, "You fucking stab him, bitch!" And then he forgets he was unmuted, so the dead body gets reported, and they're all like, "Yeah, it's him." So maybe mute your microphone.
Soviet Womble.
Yeah, Soviet Womble. Not Soviet Womble. Sorry, it was Russian Badger.
I've got Soviet Womble subscribed. I've not seen a new video from him in ages.
Yeah, he doesn't upload much anymore.
I think
he just streams.
He does a lot of streams, yeah. But he's doing a lot of
that's what most of the videos were highlights, weren't they?
Yeah.
They're like stream highlights. But
his armor, fucking
God, they're so good. And they did
Daisy bullshittery.
I think the armor was better, but yeah. But I was just gonna say, just whilst we're on the kind of horror game hype with Halloween, GTFO would be a fun one to play if you guys are able to get it. I've got it and I've never played it.
I'd be down to play it. It just obviously depends on the cost, because there's a lot of costs at the minute for me with buying a new TV and everything like that.
yeah. It's because Danny's brother had the beta key for it, and if you had the beta, you basically got 3 keys to give out, and he gave me one. So I played the beta a little bit, and it was really good. But like, obviously the full game's out now, so it would be really fun to actually play it. But it's very good.
Excuse me. Whilst we're still on the subject of games, I think what we need to also address is the fact that we've started playing Genshin Impact, and Kyle has a severe lack of waifus.
Mainly because I haven't spent £100 on a game that I played for. Yeah, he's already put over £100 into the game.
Waifus matter, right?
Jesus Christ, Ryan.
It's a fucking problem, Ollie. I've got a fucking problem. Help.
I mean, to be fair, I did spend. Let me think. 28. I think I spent £84 on ammo today. To be fair, so
yeah. That's a similar thing as well.
And that's just money to throw some metal into some sand, basically.
Yeah. Hey, you were throwing metal at very high velocities, so I think it counts.
It was. It's still viable as well.
Like airsoft, though, because you're just paying, like, obviously airsoft's incredibly cheaper for, like, ammunition and, like, your reusable, like, one-time use items. But it's still, like, 12 quid, but then I do get to see, like, people reeling in pain as I light them up.
Ollie gets to see that. He just can't tell people in
public.
I could
do that, but then I can do that, but then I go to jail.
It would be worth it for that one time, though.
It's 2-2, walk it off.
It's 2-2, walk it off.
It'll be fine.
I've always found that funny about, like, Americans with, like, obviously, like, 2-2s and stuff. It's like, 2-2s won't do any damage.
9mm.
It's like,
9mm.
It's still a bullet and you're not wearing body armor.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you'd probably survive a 2-2 to somewhere like non-threatening in your body. I'd prefer to
Yeah.
not survive
It is
2-2 non-threatening to the body, though.
Yeah.
Hi, we're here to talk about illnesses, and let's talk about getting shot by 2-2.
That's a very serious illness.
Okay, so the trick is to gain the immunity to being shot. You just have to shoot yourself with smaller bullets and then work your way up to caliber to build the immunity.
Do you
That
eventually
sounds
become
like-
immune? Do you
That sounds like a Trump quote. It's just
Eventually-
It does, doesn't it?
eventually you become immune to 50 BMG?
And the rest, 20 mil,
20
84 mil tank rounds.
Fucking
just take a
artillery
few
rounds
grenades.
from ships.
Yeah. 120 mil discarding Sabo, you'll be fine.
fucking railgun.
Don't worry, I've had my vac. Or alternatively, rather than building up a natural immunity, you can shoot yourself with an inert version of it, which in this case is just a blank firer, and it gives
Into
you a
the arm.
harmless version of the bullet, and it gives you a harmless version of the body for your body to adapt to. There we are. You're sorted.
Have you got your child bullet vaccinated? It doesn't
yeah, to be-
cause autism, okay? It doesn't cause autism.
You don't bullet vaccinate your children. You bullet vaccinate your 40-year-old Karens.
Yes, yeah.
Have you bullet vaccinated your Karen today? Well, why don't you do it? Fucking pulls out 50
Every day.
caliber.
Have you seen? Did you see? Like,
Yeah.
I think it was like maybe a month or so ago. There was like a big thing going around, like in the fucking news and stuff. Like loads of Karens around the world are trying to stand up and get Karen to be seen as an offensive word now. And it's like,
Hate speech.
it's like, no, most of you are like that, Karen. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Shut up, Karen.
In fact, by responding to this like this,
You
You're
are
acting
doing
like
the Karen thing.
You're reinforcing the meme. Oh god. I suppose we should try and get the conversation onto actual illnesses. rather than
Yeah, talking
shooting
about the
ourselves.
illness of bullets. Because I know obviously
My one weakness, by the way.
one weakness, that and puppies.
No, they give me strength.
Make me weak at the knees.
oh, they just sound like
Oh.
a fucking fairy.
Ugh.
Disgusting.
Now that is a real disease.
It's okay. There's a vaccination for being a furry, and it's called 12 gauge.
I need
It's
to
a
like.
very
there needs to be,
potent
like,
vaccination, I've heard.
Yeah,
I know people who are furries, but they're not like the cretin furries.
There's only one kind of furry, and they're all cretins.
No, these guys are actually like somewhat sane, but yeah, there's some fucking cretins out there, like some real cretins.
That's an
Try
illness I
humping.
don't want to get.
My
Yeah,
first ever Comic-Con, and I'm walking to my hotel room, and I look on the door, and it's like Yiffer and Yaffa or something.
Ugh,
Look out around it, it's like knock to join.
no, no.
That was my first encounter with a furry orgy.
He was never the same. He was never the
I
same.
never went in
Yeah.
there. Pete. I didn't take the risk.
Could you imagine if, like, as a kid, obviously you can have your kids screened for a lot of potential, genetic illnesses and like potentially early signs of autism. Imagine you could screen them for being a furry.
Doctor, I need you to tell me, will my child be a furry?
Will he be a furry?
Well, he was. They was born premature. We had to incubate them. We know that raises the risk. We'll get these checks done.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh
I'm
god.
sorry, the test results came back as Yif.
Put him in the bin.
We're doing this
I'm sorry,
the
we're gonna
Spartan
have
way. Where's the big hole?
We're going to have to perform a late abortion.
Yif in hell, baby.
all late abortions have to be completed with the Doom soundtrack in the background.
Just rip and tear until it is done.
Yeah, that's
In the
it.
first age, in the first battle,
It was,
before the
um,
Yif were born.
I love how all of a sudden we got onto Doom and Matt was in the Discord and we started doing the fucking. It's the Doom Slayer.
In the first age, in the first battle,
I need my
the
walkie,
shadows
won't you?
there was one they fear.
Start doing like
Doomslayer.
a woo voice for fucking Doomslayer. And Matt was instantly there. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up now.
Oh, I should do it with the Skyrim like Dragonborn speech.
It was one they fear.
That just sounded like you talking, to be honest.
It is him talking.
Yeah, I suppose it is most of the time.
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn.
It's the what is it? They call it is it Chumgus? Speaking in Chumgus, where they just have like the picture of the Sheba, and they just make like write out what he's saying. And there was one's like, "How would you speak Chungus with flamethrower?" And then someone just comes in, flamethrower.
Frame Flomer.
I think I'm actually like, I'm going to come down with a disease if we carry on.
You already have been down with disease.
Keep going, quick.
You had to have a fucking test, didn't you?
Sickness.
Yeah, so like, I'll tell you what.
Don't worry, he's been seen by Dr. Pepper.
Well, I mean, with regards to like, we keep trying to like not derail it.
This week's podcast sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
This week's podcast.
How was the test?
The test?
Yeah. So what did it entail?
And if so just in case people are listening to this in the far-flung future, we are currently dealing with a thing called the Rona, and Ryan had to have a test to find out if he had Super Rona.
I'm clean. Cleaning a fucking bell's whistle or something.
He only had HIV.
He's positive, don't worry.
So, it entitled with ramming a fucking cotton bud down the back of my throat and gagging. Because, don't get me wrong, I can get a banana and I can shove that down my throat and not gag for shit.
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, no, this is
weird flex, but it checks out.
Hey, honestly, the amount of times I've walked into the office and like walked up to the lads, like after getting a banana out the kitchen in the office, and just peeled it slowly in front of them and just gone. Just fucking throw it in. They're on the phone. They're like, "The fuck are you doing?" And I'm like,
"I'm just so hungry." For cock.
But, as soon as I stick something smaller than that, when it's not got any girth, so make notes, anybody, just in case you are. You can't come to me with a fucking cocktail
pencil
sausage.
dick.
Pencil dick.
Coke can minimum.
Monster can minimum.
Like the larger monster can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to ram that down. I fucking hated that. But then you have to stick it right up your fucking nose, which is just like, that actually hurts.
Yeah.
Like, it leaves this sharp pain. But I was like, and I did it, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I've done that all right. And I was a bit worried that it wasn't going to be okay. But obviously, luckily, I got my results and it was all good. So I've not got the Rona. I just had a cold.
He just had cooties, that's all.
Cooties.
The thing is now I can't stop coughing. Like, I think I've just got a tickle at the back of my throat still.
There's still, well, the thing is, like, because whenever my nose gets irritated, whether it be like, because I get kind of like dust allergies and hay fever and stuff, but whenever anything irritates my nose, about an hour or two later, I'll have about an hour of coughing. Yeah. Just like, I must be just as it's working through my body, but it's just like, so there'll be loads of times where I'm coughing and it's just like, it's nothing, this is normal.
It's worse when you start like coughing and you're like in the shops. Everyone just fucking gives you the side eye.
I had to go pick up some stuff from like a kind of, I don't know what this store is really. Like, they sell almost everything. Like, it's called Charlie's. I don't know if you...
But kind of like a B&M, like a Bargains and Madness type thing.
Not really. No, that's the weird thing. They do a lot of outdoorsy stuff and like tools, but then they also do like kind of outdoorsy clothes and like, but then also like kitchenware and DIY. It's kind of like if you were to mix like B&Q with Go Outdoors. That's the only way I can describe it, really. Like, it's kind of like a
love child of Go Outdoors and B&Q.
Kind of, yeah. Like, they do a lot of gardening stuff, lots of tools. But anyway, I had to go there to pick up some cleaner for work. And whilst I was in this queue, this woman about 3 people ahead of me in the queue, and granted, like, it's all spaced out, so fortunately she's far away, but I swear to God, she was fucking hacking up a lung, like, it wasn't just like the odd little cough, it was like full-on coughing constantly. And it was just like, you could just see everyone just kind of look at each other really nervously, just like...
Everyone's doing the fucking monkey with the side eyes.
Everyone, that was everyone, including the staff.
Everyone's doing that look, and then you just turn to see Ollie slowly loading a revolver. Don't worry, guys, I've got this.
It's always sad, this.
It's the gif you get from Hot Fuzz with Nick Frost. Shame.
Yeah.
Loading the shotgun.
Honestly, but it was just like...
It's like, don't get me wrong, the government have not handled this in any way, shape, or form.
No, terribly.
But the problem is, like, when Boris Johnson said, you've got to use your common sense, he didn't think about people like that. People like that who are out there coughing their guts up repeatedly.
Yeah.
Well, it was the first meme.
She's probably not been tested.
The first meme I saw when it was like, the best defense we have is the people's common sense, and it was just that IT crowd moment where Morse goes, "We're all going to die."
Yeah. Yeah.
My whole reaction has just been that monkey with the side eyes, just like,
yeah,
it's full on.
But yeah,
it's actually just I don't understand how people are so stupid. I thought it was meant to be like, can we not just get back to a world where we're like, survival of the fittest?
I think the annoying...
even just...
One of the... Go on, sorry.
Go on, Carla. It was nothing, go on.
No, so I think the thing that's kind of annoying me with it, like, not to do with anyone else, but to do with the way I am at the moment, like, any time I get to a point where it's like, I'm coughing, like, you have a few coughs and you're there, like, I didn't cough for long, but I've been coughing quite a lot. Should I get a test? Am I okay? And
you're overthinking it completely.
Yeah,
aren't
you start to completely second guess yourself, and then like started to get like, I think it was Saturday I started to get bad, and then Sunday I pretty much just couldn't talk, and it was like, it's definitely not the Rona because I'm not coughing, I'm not flu symptoms, I just can't fucking
Have you been checking? I
talk.
was saying, have you been checking like your temperature and stuff as well?
I've not felt like overheated in any sense. I put it this way, like Becky's the one that's been like colder than me, but I'm not hot in any way. Like, I'm comfortable, but it was just weird, and that was just really annoying because like then after not being able to talk for a bit, whenever I did try to talk, it would cause me to cough like mad. And then I'm like, it's not. It's just my throat. It's something to do with my my vocal cords or something. And luckily, Becky's like doing speech and language therapy, and she's like, it's probably just this. Just shut the fuck up, basically. Yeah. She loved it. I couldn't talk.
Like, if I sit there and I don't talk, like my throat's fine. But like when we start chatting like this, my throat starts to tickle at the back.
Yeah, that's how I get as well.
I'm not trying to get as much fluid in as well, but that's not really like, it doesn't make much difference. It's just like,
You know what you need?
Yeah, it's horrible.
You need that staple advert of the UK climate, which is Cavonia, cough medicine with clout.
Cavonia.
Have you never seen that?
No, I've not seen that. That's the only advert I remember is just the old California on the radio. That's actually the only one
we got to remember. He must have all his shows like pre-recorded, and Jeeves like removes all of the adverts for him. Ready?
There's nothing. I love nothing more than to sit there and like watch old TV and old adverts.
Sit there and listen to the wireless.
We used to have Max and Paddy's Road to Nowhere recorded on videotape. In some of the fucking adverts on like that, the old school 90s adverts. 90s videotapes and video recording is a vibe. And
oh yeah, definitely.
It's live behind that.
Full like vertical film grain kind of style. Works so well.
I'm trying to see how many cases we've got in Nottingham, but it don't really tell us.
Too fucking many from what I've heard.
Oh, this is the thing, though. It's like everyone keeps saying, "Oh, there's loads of people in Nottingham," and I'm like, "Well, I'm not fucking seeing them."
It's all located around the student areas because that's the thing. Like, I think one thing that kind of annoyed me is how they sent everyone back to uni, saying they have to go back to uni if they can, and then as soon as everyone returned, paid all the landlords for like their rent, they then locked everywhere down.
Yeah, and locked them in. That's ridiculous.
The problem is, though, it's like the students are then like, don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming you students. I'm not saying it's all you. But there's a lot of you who you're not like, you need to account for each other. Like, if you see a student friend who's not following the rules, fucking give them shit. Honest to God, like, give them shit. I think everyone needs to just like, because people aren't willing to give shit to people who aren't following the rules. And they should. Yeah. I'm at a point now where I'm just like, I've got to, like, the thing is, though, I say that, but I've got to the point where I've been following the rules all the way up to this, but people haven't. And I'm just at a point where, like, well, as long as I know I'm being safe and I'm using my common sense, as Bojo says, I'm going to break those rules because you, like, obviously I'm not, but I've just been put in a shit position. I'm like, I've just lost a year because people aren't listening. People aren't listening, and the government hasn't got a clue what they're fucking saying. Really, we need somebody who knows what they're fucking on about when they're telling us, and they actually need to listen to the scientists. And two, people need to fucking listen.
I saw a fucking amazing analogy on Facebook recently, and it was someone basically saying, I'm sick of people saying I can't criticize the government and always saying, oh, well, you couldn't do a better job. Well, I can't make fucking pizza, but if Domino's delivered my pizza and it was just a turd, I'd fucking complain about that.
Yeah.
Like, just because you physically can't do it doesn't mean you can't complain about what's actively going on.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you can't make an observation and make a valid critique of it. It's just like
I couldn't sit and criticize the really in-depth nitty-gritty of how the politics works. But when they vote to not feed school children, that's a dick move.
Yeah.
Like,
especially when it's like the children's minister as well, where it's like
she looks like a fucking witch, mate. I saw the picture and I was like, yo, she's like fucking boiling kids in a massive cauldron.
Yeah, literally.
There was a brilliant one that I saw. I think it's a local MP for me and Ryan, who is part of a group called Food for All Great Britain. And it's a group that's all about, like, basically trying to make sure everyone in Britain's fed. Voted against giving school children free dinners. I'll have to find.
Which MP is this?
I'll have to find it because it made its way around my local groups on Facebook and stuff. But I just remember laughing because it's like, she likes to talk about being a food for all, and she's saying no to giving food to people.
Well, our local MP, I forget how to pronounce his name because it's like Polish, and I'm probably going to muller it, but it's like Daniel Kaczynski, I think, or something like that.
It's usually like Kaczynski.
That's what I thought, but what I've heard people say it on the radio, and it sounds totally different to how I think it is. But it's like it's a strange spelling, and I've totally butchered it. But people from the area would know it is, and if you typed it in, you'd be able to find him. Yeah. But like, he claimed something like 80 grand of expenses in the last year on top of his like 100 grand salary, and it's just like that. If that's not a perfect analogy for the current government, I don't know what is. Just like, but you can't have
lunches. Each and every one of them has like that. I was like, oh. Really?
Yeah.
Have you seen the menu? Have you seen the menu that sometimes they get in Westminster? Every now and then the menu gets leaked, and it's ridiculous stuff. It's like, let's face it, if you worked in a place where they had a canteen, you'd expect just like some staples, like they may have some snack stuff like sausage rolls, crisps, things like that, and then you may get like fish and chips or chicken nuggets or a burger or a chicken tikka or
turkey Twizzlers.
Maybe like a generic breakfast like bacon and
or like a pie,
like that.
And then there's always like a veg option, which is usually not very good in like work canteens.
Yeah. I bet they have a full lobster thermidor probably.
Yeah, so it was just like, that's the kind of stuff you expect. But then you look at theirs, and it was like fucking pan-fried sea bass with calamari and things like that. And I was just like,
yeah,
what the
you don't need that.
No.
Like, I'm sorry, you don't need that.
And they will claim all of that on expenses. And it's like, that's bullshit, because you can claim your meals on expenses, yet I go to work in town. I can't claim my lunch on expenses, even though I need to either take food with me or go and buy food while I'm there, but I can't claim that.
No, it's ridiculous.
So apparently Nottingham's apparently Nottingham's cases are going down
That's good.
again. But Sheffield's about to go into lockdown. But I've just seen some pictures on a news article where there's not a lot of social distancing going on, and there's not a lot of mask wearing going on. And it's
No,
just like, don't get me wrong,
no,
it's
Shrewsbury's
just,
like that.
it's just been smart. But I just think there's a lot of bullshit going on at the moment, and I mean, I'm just a bit like, the thing is like people are saying like, oh, there's all these people who are getting it, but I don't know anybody who's got it. I've not, to this day, the only person I know who got it was my uncle, and my uncle's dead now. So it's like,
Yeah, I've
whoever's
known.
got it,
I know about.
the only reason he died from it is because he got cancer.
Yeah,
and
so he already was
he's been
weaker
on it.
anyway.
Yeah. Thing is, it was a case of it was not, is it going to happen? It was, when is it going to happen, unfortunately. And it's awful, and I don't want to talk about too much, but this is the thing. That's the only person I can say that I know. We've had like 2 people in our office downstairs.
We had 2 people downstairs in the office, but I know people that I've known personally that have had it. So there was one that I think I told you guys about, who he was like a promoter. He used to promote a load of gigs that I used to go and like play at when I was in the bands and stuff. And he had it, and he documented every step of it on his Facebook. And he looked like fucking shit, like full on. Like, it wouldn't even be one of those things, you know, when you see someone come into the office, oh, you look like shit. Oh, thanks, mate. It was like you'd say
they literally
to him,
look like death.
You literally look like death warmed up. And it was and he explained like all the feelings he was having, like body wise, while he was having it. So he went really quite in depth with it. But he's fine now. He was like, he knows he wasn't going to die to it because he's young enough. He's got a strong immune system. He just needed a lot of rest, a lot of painkillers, and a lot of fluids to just try and get him through it. But then there's an old friend of mine whose mum, she's always been a little weak. She's had like both her knees replaced. She's just a lovely lady, but she's got it, and she's been in the hospital. She's been on full ventilator. She's been taking pictures of like the full ventilation. She's now got pneumonia. I saw this today, where she's now got pneumonia as well from having the virus. But she's still fighting it, and she's still going strong. But it's just like, it's fucking, like, they're the only people I've seen where they've had it, and it's like, shit, it does actually look kind of scary.
This is the thing with it, though. It was the idea of it was you're never going to stop it.
No.
Like, that's
I think
the first thing.
It's too late now, especially.
Yeah, you're never going to stop it. It's just easing it so the NHS can deal with it.
Yeah. Well, that was the whole original thing, wasn't it? Flatten the curve.
Yeah. I think the problem is that it's like, they went too hard when we reopened up everything. We went too hard on the whole eat out to help out bullshit and getting out. And people just were like, oh, it's as if it's over, and nobody was listening to it really. And it's like the amount of people I'd seen, like the first time I've been into a shop and not seen anybody not in a mask except for somebody behind the plastic thing.
Yeah, if they're behind a divider, that's fine.
It was on Friday, yesterday, when I went to the shops with my dad to do the weekly shop. That's the first time I've been in a shop where everybody was wearing a mask.
Well, that's because they have to now, because it's mandatory.
Well, no, because even to this day, I've been in, like, till last week when I was still in the office, and I was going into fucking Tesco in Nottingham, the little Tesco extra near us.
Oh, that's because they just don't give a shit, and they're not following the rules anyway.
The security guard wasn't wearing the masks. 2, there's always somebody in there without a mask on. And it's just like, no wonder Nottingham's thing's going up. It's because there's people like this. But the problem is it's like, I just want to know, I want a proper explanation from where they're doing these tests, who's doing these tests and stuff, because they're just giving me numbers, and that's all I'm seeing. I'm not seeing people. You're not going to see like a proper registration of it all.
Yeah, I think what kind of annoys me is how they keep trying to blame, or it feels like they're trying to put a blame on like
students or.
Well, the main one that annoys me is when they're trying to blame things like food and hospitality, and it's like, I've been to multiple pubs and multiple restaurants during this pandemic. I went for the eat out to help out thing, did multiple meals, and apart from Five Guys, and I'm gonna fucking put them on blast for this, because the Five Guys in Nottingham is fucking atrocious for how it's dealt with. like there's no kind of rhyme or reason or like blocking off seats so you can't sit too close to each other or anything like that. I still went there, still ate the food, but you just look at it, it's like, this is a fucking shambles. The only people that have the protection are the people at the counters. But every other restaurant I went to the bar I used to work at, fucking great. You'd come in, the bar is like way away, they didn't do any bar service, they just would have people come over, ask what you want, come bring it out to you. They made sure they'd seat you where they need to seat you so you was away from it, and that was great. Went to a few of the restaurants like down the road from me in Beeston. Really great. They make sure you're always away from other people. It's all like through the phone. I went to Pizza Hut. You just order it all through the phone kind of thing. Everywhere I've been has been really, really well done. The only times I've seen it where it's not been good and where it's been dealt like shit was when I went back to Butlins for like the first few weeks. One of the weeks I had to drive back through the town centre of Nottingham because there was a load of shitty roadwork, so it basically took me around and through Nottingham town centre, and I drove past where I could see all the streets of all the clubs and all the pubs just looked like a normal Saturday night. Just looked like a normal night of everyone getting out, getting pissed, and that's where the issue was. I saw.
That's what's pissing me off as well. Is because at this point, you're not allowed to socialise with friends at your house where you know it's clean, you know the friends, and you're like, if you're having friends over and you're clever and you've got common sense, you know that they're not fucking about going everywhere and anywhere with anybody. So you know you're covered on that side, and you know it, like I say, you know it's your house and it's clean. No, you can't do that, but you can go to the gym and meet up with a friend and socialise there, like in a way, but socially distanced and whatnot. You can then go to the bar. Thing is, though, it's like, they're going to say you need to be socially distanced. There's no way social distancing rules are being completely upheld in any bar. As much as they try, there's too many people who go out on the lash who are just after a shag or whatever, and it's just
after working security in Nottingham town centre for a year, trying to get people to do what you want them to while people are drunk was bad enough without a fucking virus. Trying to tell people, nope, you can't go in that way. No, you can't go this way. No, it's one in, one out. It's too busy. It's too full. Can we make sure the queues moved in this way and spread out this way? It's physically fucking impossible because they're all drunk. They don't care.
Yeah.
And it's
They're just belligerent.
but the thing is, like, that's not me putting those like guys like and taking the piss at them, because everyone gets like it when they're drunk. It don't matter who the fuck you are. As soon as you get drunk, you turn into a confident fucking idiot. Because that's what happens when you get drunk. If you get to the point where you aren't remembering what you're doing that night, no one can control you. It's impossible. That's why security guards are lawfully allowed to physically handle you, because if you are, even you, Ryan, if you was absolutely smashed out your face and you start to flip out, it still would take me and potentially one other guy to stop you.
I don't know if you could do it, mate. I don't know if you could do it. Absolute fucking unit over here.
But that's because, like, when you get into that state, it's the same with any drug. When you get into a state with any drug where your brain just basically goes fucking whatever and just lets you unleash everything.
There's no limit to this man's power. It's impossible.
Well, yeah, because your brain does limit you doing things so you don't hurt yourself. And when you get drunk,
what does the scouter say about this drunk man in the bar?
He's had too many beers. I mean, we've had it before where there was I remember one particular guy. He was fucking tiny, like I'm talking fucking tiny man, and he had full on small man syndrome. But he was definitely on not just beer. He was on definitely something else as well. It took like 4 big guys they basically had to have one guy on each limb and carry him out. And even they would struggle.
That's the problem. You're not allowed to just fucking deck him. You're not allowed to just like rock up and just be like, Shut the
If they-
fuck up and
if
just
they
punch
attack-
him in the head.
If they attack you,
If they attack you, yes, you can fight back. But
I promise you
can't
now
just
why
rock up to the fucker and just be like,
I'll
yeah, let's just knock him out.
I'll give one good reason why you shouldn't start on a security guard who's working within a good security team and a good close-knit security team. It doesn't matter where the fucking cameras are, doesn't matter who the fuck was there. If you attack him and you get knocked the fuck out, every single one of those security guards will say he struggled when we was trying to take him out and he fell over. Every single one of them will write a statement that fucking night explaining exactly what happened, and they'll all have their story straight. And most likely, if the management are on side, oh, the security footage just not there. It's like the fucking camera's broke or something. We'll have to check on that. Because they won't want a prick like that in the club no matter what. So they'll always make it so their side wins. Always.
Yeah. It's like, it's the worst place to try and do something. Like, rock up and be like, oh, fucking I'll have it on with this security team. Sorry, did you hear that? That was the word team. Security team. I wonder why they're a team.
I mean,
Because
don't
they
get me
work
wrong.
well together. Yeah, you fucked it, kid.
There's a lot of shit teams out there, though.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, every now and then, like, where I worked,
You're making this the picture of my family. It's actually a picture of the A team.
But there was we used to go through where I worked. Like, I only worked at the weekends, but there was always like one of them, the core team. Then I was part of the weekend core team, but there was always like, because there wasn't enough guys, there'd always be like one or two guys that would basically be floaters that would kind of float around different clubs, and there'd always be like these few guys that would sometimes turn up, and as soon as they turned up, you realised, well, I'm working double now, because he will do fuck all. And I remember literally seeing it once where some guy had run through the fucking front gate, past the team, because they were dealing with someone else, and they knew he had drugs on him, and he was trying to run and hide in the club, which is very easy to do in a busy club. And this guy just stands there and lets him run past him. Just watches him, sees the commotion, just...
That's right, I know who he is.
It was just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Fucking guy gets into the club, does a full fucking Assassin's Creed.
It works. You'd be surprised like how easy it is
Flex.
to disappear in a crowd in clubs. It's why like we used to wear like bright orange shirts. People wouldn't see you until you was right next to them.
You just needed a bonk hammer. I think this is where we're all going wrong. Security teams all need bonk
Foam
hammers.
base, like one of those foam softball bats.
Bonk.
Oh yeah,
Go to Horry
it's
jail.
definitely
Bonk.
it's definitely completely soft, and I've not replaced the core with a metal core.
Yeah, just like it's soft, but it's dense.
Dense
used to-
like the fuckers who are coming and causing trouble in here.
I mean,
Yeah.
you've fucking just the dents there. You fucking remind me. There was one particular moment that made me kind of giggle working in. I always used to try and like lock up the arms, so you'd always try and hook the arms. But this guy, every now and then, someone they'd know that's what he was trying to do, so they'd do this, and they'd like tighten themselves up like this, so you couldn't lock up their arms. I remember this one guy was like half the size of me, did that. I actually remember thinking, I'll just fucking push you out then. And it's just me pinballing this guy through the club because he won't let me grab his arms, bouncing him off the door, just pushing him out. It's like, just get the fuck out. Just leave.
I'd love to be
man.
able to like just go in. I don't like the club scene, but I'd love to just go in and watch like how a security team have to do with it. Because I don't think I've seen like a TV show like that. If we see it with the police, with like
There's been a
I don't think I've
few.
ever seen the club one.
There's been one
Not
or
on
two.
the council channels like we've
No. There's been one or two, but the issue is because of the
got,
way
the manner of it.
the SIA wants teams to be seen, and because of the bad image that security guards got from in the old days, because let's face it, in the old days it was just gang members
Thugs.
or ex-convicts and things that needed work kind of thing, and they were thugs, like you said, they were thugs.
Just
There's
yeah.
still
Well-
some around, I know.
Hey, hey, they fucking do the job. You're not gonna mess with them, are you?
No, it's why it kind of it. There's always a fine line. I found like I never punched someone while I was on the shift, and I'll say that in quotations because the one time I did, I took my badge off to knock him the fuck out. But that's because he spat in my face, so he deserved it.
Oh, that's nah. If people start spitting at people, like spit in the gutter,
wrong.
everything. But if you spitting on people or at people, you deserve to get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Out of every situation I dealt with, I had people swing at me, I had people try and push me, I had people try and throw things at me. That was the one that made me take my badge off and say I'm not on shift anymore. Because it wasn't even like I was getting in his face or being aggressive or trying to drag him out. I walked him round to the back exit because I knew he had drugs, and I just started explaining calmly, like I used to do to every single person. If you give me the drugs now and leave of your own accord, you can come back next week. You'll get searched next week, but you can come back next week, no problems. If you make me search you or you give me shit, you're not coming back next week. And as I'm saying this, he just full on spits in my face. So that was it. That was where I just took him out the back door, badge off, knocked him the fuck out, came back in and was like, no, he's never coming back. Because
easy enough.
Yeah,
Innit?
no,
That's
fair
what you
enough.
gotta be like. People don't think there's people don't think they're consequences. It's
Yeah.
like when you get little. It's like when you get little shits on the tram. They're like playing
Yeah.
their fucking shitty music. You're like, "Shut the fuck up."
got knives, got guns, mate.
I'm a big man. I'm a big man. Well, clearly you're not, because your legs and arms are like pencils. Sit down.
I
He
find
then
it funny
goes and
'cause,
gets himself arrested. That was
I
the
mean-
best bit.
Yeah, I mean, I always find it funny because obviously like, we live in like city which we have those kinds of issues, but like where you live, Ollie, like I never hear of like issues like that. Like, do you get that kind of shit in your area? Because I've never seen it.
No, they all just come up on each other with their
yes
flintlock
and no.
pistols.
Someone
Flintlock
actually,
pistols.
there was
Your life or your wallet?
Yeah,
How about you?
I resent the fact that you call me a common dandy.
Everyone rocks up to a fucking mugging on a horse.
It's
No,
basically just
it does-
Mordau taunts.
yeah. No, it does happen. There was actually quite a big case where a bouncer at a local club, he basically pushed a lad down some stairs and killed him, basically.
Fuck.
That was a good few years ago now. I want to say that was probably like 10 years ago. But I mean, no, that shit does happen around here, but it's not the same kind of thing. It's like, it sounds like you get a lot of pikeys and shit around here, like breaking into houses, stealing dogs and shit like that. But then you
Do you
do
like
get
dogs?
Do you like
people-
dogs?
I like dogs. But then it's also shit like there was a place nearby where I work, and the pikeys just went barged straight into like the main office with a machete and just robbed everyone at knife point, basically. Just and then they just fuck off before the police can do anything about it. And it's just like, and the police don't care. The police just won't do anything about it because they're more
they
interested
don't.
in catching people.
It's too much of a risk for them to go into like their
It's
houses and stuff, because they just all got weapons. Like you say,
Yeah.
they've came in with a machete.
It's. I don't think it's even just that. It's one of those things where like they're just so. I want to be on the police's side. I want to be, because at the end of the day, they're meant to be the people that can protect us. I want to be on the side, but some of them are absolute fucking cockwombles who are
They're bored. That's the
who really take the abuse of power like full on, but. Then you get the nice ones where they're like, you can tell they're just fucking jaded because they've got no fucking funding. And it's like, they're constantly having all the budget cuts and stuff. And it's like, there's the load of them out from what I can see where they want to do their job. They want to help us. But
they got no money. Yeah.
I saw a brilliant picture. I think it was after the Black Lives Matter movement started getting big. And it was just like a policeman carrying like social welfare, domestic welfare, drug abuse, drug victims, and loads of all these kinds of things. And it was like, well, how is he meant to do all that and carry all that? And it was like, well, they're not meant to carry all that. They're not meant to be there to help with our social welfare.
Yeah.
They're not meant to be there to help with people who are dealing with rehab. There's meant to be other things in place for them.
What I want to say about this is it's just like we're constantly on about cutting budget on stuff. I want to know where we're spending this money and why it's not like because we're cutting all this budget on stuff that
We've already discussed that's gone.
We've been able to budget in previously. Yeah.
Yeah. Why can't it be spent?
It's not like you can say, "Oh, there's more people in the country now." Well, yeah, that should mean there's more people paying taxes. There's more people
and more people making money. Yeah.
So in that theory, we should have more funding and more money. What I want to know is where the fuck's all this money going? Like, I just want to see.
I'll tell you where that money's going, Ryan. It's
subsidised lobsters for lunch.
That's exactly it. It's gone to Chef Giovanni and his fucking pan-fried sea bass. That's where it's fucking
calamari.
Gone. Yeah. That's exactly where it's gone.
Honestly, that's the problem, right? That's the problem with our government is they're all fucking rich ponces. And don't tell me that you can't tell me any of those MPs who get voted in are common people. Not one of them is as soon as they get into that job, they just lose the right because then they just start acting like a fucking upper class prick.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. It's infuriating because it's like, I think it was it Neil deGrasse Tyson? I think who said it, and it was just like and he was looking as like every single person who runs for office. I think it was talking about the American government, but it basically translate to us to here. It's like
every government does.
Every person who runs for office, who runs for president or prime minister or anything like that, they've all done they've studied politics, or they've studied the economy, or they've studied law. Why the fuck do we not have any MPs who have studied engineering, who have studied fucking music, who have studied science or IT or infrastructure, or why do we not have a guy who's running the cabinet for the country's infrastructure, who's studied infrastructure? Why do we not have the person who's running the creative cabinet or whatever they call it? I don't know the cabinet names, but why is there not someone who's running the arts cabinet who's studied the arts? The people who can actually support it best.
Why isn't the person who's in charge of child support, like we were on about, the one who's not voted for free school
why are they
dinners?
cutting funding?
Why are they not either been in childcare or schooling, as a teacher? Yeah. Why have they not been in these things? I just let the honest to God, I think if we can talk about people not being fucking qualified for their job, they're the biggest fucking sector in the group of people we can say who aren't qualified for their jobs are fucking politicians.
Yeah.
We go into our job, we have to be qualified to do our job.
Yeah.
You go up into Parliament, you used to write for The Sun, I hear, or you used to write for the Daily Mail. Oh, well, perfect. You can run the country.
Did you?
And you didn't even do a good job of that.
Did you guys do the questionnaire that the government put out about what job you could retrain as?
No, I haven't done it yet.
Okay, so I did it. I currently work.
Where is it?
It's literally just Google. You'll find it through there. But yes, so
you told me what it was.
I told you your results. Yes, so I currently work in IT. I previously worked as an audio engineer, and I'm looking to move towards doing game audio design. That's the goal for me. That's what I want to do. I do this test, and it tells me I should retrain as an actor or a circus performer, because they're two very stable jobs at this moment in time.
Very well-paying jobs.
I then find out. I'll see if I can find it after the podcast and send it you. But then, so as soon as I've done that, I go and look on my Facebook, and there's a guy called Adam. I can't remember his surname, and I don't know if he even wants his surname out there, but I know he does acting, he does pantomime stuff, he does artwork, he's a stand-up comedian, really funny guy, all-round nice guy. He's currently acting in Butlin's plays and pantomimes and shows. He takes the test, and it tells him he should go and be a sports coach. Bear in mind, his picture is of him being a pink clown fairy in a fucking pink tutu, and it's telling, oh yeah, you should go teach kids football. It's
perfect.
Yeah, it's telling me to go and be his job. The whole retrain thing is the biggest fucking disrespect to anyone who's trained for their job ever. And it was that fucking
I'll tell you
Fatima
what that
picture.
is.
It was ridiculous.
I was going to say, I'll tell you what that is, and that is iTunes Shuffle rejigged for fucking careers. That's what that is.
Yeah.
It's just random job. There you go. You should be a Amazon delivery man.
You should be a squire.
And it's just like, comes in. Seth,
Apparently
we
those
can see.
exist now.
We can see you failed all your GCSEs. You failed to go to college. You didn't even try to go to uni. Got it. Aeronautical engineer.
Prime Minister.
Aeronautical engineer.
Prime Minister.
Is it the
Yeah,
skills
basically.
assessment?
Something like that.
There's something like that, yeah. But I think one of the best things I saw was from that, like, the picture where it was like, oh, Fatima's next job could be in cyber. She doesn't just know that. And someone just put one. It was a picture of Bojo. Boris's next job could be a twat. Oh, wait, he already is.
No, the better one I see is Boris's next job could be literally anything else.
I think it's like
I do want to wrap up. I know I'm trying to cut it a bit harsher today, but that's because the Justin Gaethje and Khabib Nurmagomedov fight is on apparently very soon.
fucking fighting nerd.
And I need to watch this fight, so I do want to close it up now, if that's okay with you guys.
Okay.
I need to watch this fight.
Boring.
I'm so hyped for this fight.
Can we do a
Oh,
longer? Can we do a longer one next week?
We'll do a
I
longer
want to
one
do a
next
longer
week.
one for Halloween.
Yeah, we'll do a longer one for Halloween. It's a special anyway,
Oh,
so
yeah.
It'll be spooky.
It'll be super spooky. But yeah, so I know we've cut this short and we were getting into a good conversation, but if you've got any questions you want to send us, memes or shit posts, send it to the Twitter at contextneeded1. We want essays that are scribed that are 4,000 words long with a one-page abstract. Quill and paper.
We want a wax stamp,
seal.
like a wax seal
stamp.
on the letter. It needs to be delivered by owl.
Yes.
No
I think
excuses.
that's definitely
by
one. Basically, if you want to do that, you need to email us at contextneededuk@gmail.com, and we will then contact you with the details of where you need to send that to us. But that's how it needs to be done if you want to contact us there. But with that in place, we'll be back next week for the super scary Halloween special, all wearing super special Halloween costumes. I'm Kyle. I was joined with Trashman Ryan and Shooty Boy Ollie.
Hey.
Hey. But
Hey,
thank
I don't
you
want
guys. All of a sudden turned into the fairs. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next time.
See you later.
Bye.